Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to another movie review. Well, back to another revisit review. Where if I have the camera angle like this, it's because today September 24th, so I'm gonna do a revisit of one of my all-time favorite animated films, which I did for a few months ago, but I just feel like revisiting because came out 4 years. It was on this date. It's like the same thing I did with when I revisited my movie review revisit of Monsters vs. Aliens, so I decided to do a review of this one. Revisit Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole, which, what I said, was released September 24th, 2010, and it was also released a week after Alpha and Omega came out, which was September 17th, 2010. So this was released after a week after Alpha and Omega came out. And I just felt like revisiting because once again I say that I love this film. I would say, like I said before, if you wanted to check out, this is only going to be brief though, like a smaller review of this one. So if you haven't seen, I did a much more longer review of. Just go and check out my channel. I just there's a more thorough movie review of this film. So check out my channel and just type in the movie review, or go through my list of my videos and you'll see it. So yeah, but I already did a review of this, so just go and check that out. But I just have revisiting it again. So, and this is and also what I say is this is directed by Zack Snyder, like I said, who directed 300, Watchmen, Dawn of the Dead remake, Sucker Punch, and then Man of Steel. And then he directed this film. And which I said before in my review of this film, in my opinion, this was Zack Snyder's best film. That's why I said this. In my opinion, this is his best film because this was his first animated film, and then he did such a great job of directing this first time animated film because how the animation, because this was like supposed to be made from the studio that made Happy Feet, so right there. And I would just say this is the most, like I said before in my previous review. This is the most beautiful looking animated film I've ever seen because how the animation looked, how like I said, this was the story, like was one thing I did not show in my review. This is based on like I said before, it's based on a book series though. Just entitled Guardians of Ga'Hoole, not Legend of the Guardians, just called Guardians of Ga'Hoole, which was made by the author by Catherine Lasky, who she did great with these books now. And I have the whole book collection right here. This is why I didn't have in my previous review. I didn't have my whole book collection here. I got all the collection I have right here, from 1 all the way to 16. So, and that's why I show. And this first film was supposed to be based on like the first 3 books here, but I've read all the books, like and even though it has, well, of course the film it can be based on the whole series though, but there's more deeper stories into those. But I've read the whole series and I just absolutely enjoy this book series, So I give credit where to the author. If it wasn't for this book series, it wasn't been a movie. Most beautiful animated film I've ever seen would have been made, So, and I said this before. This is Zack Snyder's best film, Even though I enjoy Dawn of the Dead, I enjoy that film. 300 was decent. Sucker Punch, not a fan of though, and of course Man of Steel, which I don't like, So, which I don't know. Like I said before, that's gonna get some people mad though, but it's my opinion though. In my opinion, this is his best film, And like throughout his whole film series, he uses like a lot of slow motion, throughout the films he's made though. But this was used best, because especially for an animation film, how the fights are, they do a little bit slow motion here and there, which I say that it works, you know, and it was even it was also the tone that it was like the story was like darker, you know, like how the darker, not just the animation but the characters and stuff. You know, the story was like dark, you know. But if going through this again, I'll just say it briefly though. The story about a young owl by the name of Soren. You know, he and his brother Clud, they fall out of the tree of the home. And they get taken to Saint Aggie's, you know. Um, which of course in the story, which Clud Clud he becomes bad, you know, which. Except for his brother Soren, who befriends a smaller elf owl named Gylfi, and they escape, you know, with the help of Grimble, and they meet the two other owls, a digging owl and a large gray owl by Twilight and Digger, and they find their way to Legend to the Great Tree of Ga'Hoole, which was the stories that his Soren's dad told him about, you know. And then they're supposed to stop the pure ones, you know. And that's basically like shortened it out. And also, what I said about the voice cast, the voice cast did a great job, you know. Yes, the voice cast of Jim Sturgis. Let me see here. Yeah, I guess I wasn't Jim Sturgis as who voices Soren. Ryan Quanten who voices Clud. You know, which this guy I've seen this guy before in Dead Silence. You know. And they have other voice actors. You have Helen Mirren as Naira. Joel Egerton as Metalbeak. They have what's here as Emily Bardet as Gylfi, David Wenham as Digger, and Anthony LaPaglia as Twilight. Which of course the four of them together they're called the Band, which is like in the book as well, the book series as well. You know, they're called the Band. And other ones, Hugo Weaving. He voices two characters in this film. Hugo Weaving, like from the Lord of the Rings films, voices the Red Skull and Captain America. Or the Matrix films, or voices Megatron in the Transformer films. He voices two characters in this as Soren Clud's dad, Noctis, and he also voices Grimble. And Sam Neill from Jurassic Park, you know. He voices a character named Alamir, who's the traitor of the Guardians, you know. Which I have already said stuff. Said stuff that I spoil anyway, but personally, who's going to care about? Because like most people, because the film didn't really do that well in the U.S. So, and plus, if you want to check out my more, like I said, check out my original review for this film. I do a much more deeper, in-depth story on this review. So I'm just only explaining. You know, because this is only a revisit review, you know. And this, like I said, the film didn't do well in the U.S. You know, it had this film was made on an $80 million budget, which for an $80 million budget for an animated film like this was used well, you know. Sure, it was like some cheaper than some of the animated films today, which I don't mind, you know, because I enjoy those expensive animated films, you know, like that one right behind me, Monsters vs. Aliens, or the Shrek films, you know. But, and the film opened up at number 2 and in the box office, you know, and made $55 million in the U.S. on a budget of $80 million, so it didn't do well in the U.S., sadly, but overall total made $140 million worldwide, so I think that was pretty decent enough, though, but wish it could have made more money than that, you know. From what I expected at the time, you know. And of course, when I saw this in the theaters, unbelievably, I said this before, I saw it 5 times, you know, in the theaters, you know. It's like, oh, stop wasting your money, you know. I could do whatever I want. It's a film that I absolutely enjoy. It's worth seeing again and again, you know. But it's my money. I can do what I want with it, you know. So yeah. And of course, but it has a 7.0 on IMDb. That's pretty high enough, you know, for this film. But it has a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't think deserves it. You know, deserves much more higher than that. You know. I enjoy the score. I actually enjoy the score to the film, you know, and especially the song Take to the Sky, by Owl City, which is played in the film then during the end credits, which I enjoy that song, and especially first of all the trailer. I enjoy the two trailers to them, especially I only wish they only used that song from 30 Seconds to Mars' song Kings and Queens that was played in the trailer, in both of those trailers, even in the trailer for Hugo and How to Train Your Dragon 2, I just wish that was in the film. I think that would have worked wonderfully in the film as well, but oh well, we can do it. But I still say that wish that song could have been in there, And this film is on for 97 minutes, but it goes at a fast pace, Animation, like I said, worked really beautifully, the most beautiful looking animation I've ever seen, especially how the look of the film, If you see the film, you're going to understand why, Like some of the scenes, like I enjoy, like how explain about how the animation, like how when they reach the tree of Ga'Hoole, or when they're when Soren and Gylfi like release those on those night planets into the sky, like how wonderful, beautiful look animation film look how it looks, the animation. I just really enjoy. I just really love this film, and since then there's been no talk. Well, there has been talks of a sequel, like Jim Sturgis and Ryan Kwanten, who voices Soren and Claude. They said they would come back as reprising their voices of the two characters if a sequel was ever in production, But since then, there has been no talks of a sequel right now, so which is sad because I really would love to see a sequel, because maybe the sequel will be based on more on the books here they have over here, because it ends with Claude, he's still alive, which you thought Soren was dead though, but he's still alive. He has those glowing red eyes like the pure ones have, and he sees Metal Beak's helmet that covers his face up though. Because in the book, it was Claude that was who he was really Metal Beak, So, but so I just hope someday, I just hope there would be a sequel, I really wish a sequel would be made, I just hope Zack Snyder would return. He would return to, but be busy, making Batman versus Superman, Which I only see that film. It depends on how Ben Affleck does as Batman. That's the only thing I want to see a film for. But I just hope when maybe he said that Zack Snyder he may not return to direct, But if he does, I wish he would direct the sequel, because this film really, because it is left sequel wise, seeing Claude alive, But and Naira retreat and the rest of the pure ones retreated, Of course, it's open for a sequel, They left it as a sequel baited ending, So yeah, I just hope one day a sequel will be made, because I really love to see a sequel to this, But of course, makers of animation films, though, they continue making sequels, which I don't mind seeing, because I enjoy the sequels, like the Shrek films or How to Train Your Dragon 2 or whatever, But because how hard is it to make a sequel to this, But so it's all a matter of opinion, in my opinion. I just hope one day, if any like the makers of this film sees, my original review or this, I just hope they're not going to depend on a one person's opinion, It needs like a lot of people who are, if anyone who is a fan of this film, which probably not, because it's a film about owls, it's based on a book series, Probably think, oh, that's a dumb idea, that's a dumb film because it's about owls, So what, if it's based on a book, or the reason why is it's based on a book series, because a book series is about owls, So yeah. So I was going to say, this is my revisit review of one of my favorite animated films of all time. I would still say it's the most beautiful looking anime film I've seen, Still have the post right there, And I'll always love this film no matter what. So I hope one day we'll get a sequel be made, and I hope that I know there's other people who enjoy this film, I guess there are other people that don't do, but oh well. But that's my revisit. That's my revisit review of Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole. Still enjoy the book series. Still love the film to this day, and I hope the sequel one day will get made. So thanks for watching. Take care, and stay tuned for the next movie review. Later.